Alright, howdy. What's up, guys? Boys and girls and guys. So this past Monday I picked up a 93 R17 made by Savage Arms. This is apparently a very hyped bolt action rifle that's chambered in a 17 HMR. The first 17 HMR rifle that I have purchased. I grew up primarily on shooting a 22 single shot. The H stands for Hornady, the M stands for Magnum, and then the R stands for rimfire. So this is a rimfire cartridge bolt action rifle. Apparently it is quite accurate. There are a lot of folks that have just raved about how this is their most fun gun. They love shooting this rifle. They love taking it to the range. They love using it to drop coyotes, bobcats, foxes, rabbits, prairie dogs, squirrels, any type of small game. Really any, even some people were, I think there was a guy, I was looking at some photos online, and he shot a turkey. He went turkey hunting with the 17 HMR. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, most of the time you take a 12 gauge, a heavy duty shotgun to go turkey hunting. But it's such a cool little rifle. I saw it at Walmart this past Monday morning, stumbling by the gun counter, and apparently this is a rifle that Walmart's been carrying for a while, but this is the older, this is the base, just kind of the basic model. This is not the one with the AccuTrigger. I discovered that after I purchased this. I really just bought it on a whim because I loved the stock. And I'm not sure how you guys can see, if you can see this very clearly. I'm not sure if the camera is focusing nicely on it, but honestly the camera and photos do not do this stock justice. You have to see it in person. And the stock alone got me looking pretty giddy, and I'm a big fan of bolt action rifles. I'm a big fan of Remington 700s and really just bolt action rifles in general. I think they're a lot of fun. And you kind of savor each shot because you're having to physically, rack the bolt and slam a new round in the chamber. But I thought this was just such a beautiful little gun, and it's got this, I think they refer to this as a bull barrel. It's got a heavy duty, just a real thick barrel. And it is a free floating barrel. You can do the $1 bill test or take a receipt or something, and just run it through there. It's just very well manufactured. Apparently this is a really popular rifle with Savage Arms, and I think even Marlin makes, from what it looked like, they almost had like the same design, the same action. Even both of them are using the Remington 700 safety, which is something that I really like. Granted, I'm having troubles with this one. It's a little catchy. So I'm still going to have some fun with that, but overall I'm very pleased with this gun. When you want to remove the carrier bolt, it's, to my understanding, it's basically the same as every other Savage bolt action rifle. You will simply take the gun and put it on fire, make sure you're free and clear, there's no round in the chamber, it is empty. You can pull the trigger and the bolt will just slide right out. And there you have your carrier bolt with firing pin assembly and all that good stuff. And just to put it back in, you just simply slide it on in there. Very, very simple, very easy to use. If you guys have any questions or comments, like I said, I think the coolest part about this gun is how inexpensive it is, considering you're buying it brand new. You're buying this rifle brand new, you're getting a quality wood stock, you're getting a drop-down removable magazine. You're getting a buttery smooth action after you oil it properly and get it nice and wet. It was somewhat stiff when I first took it out of the box and installed the bolt. It didn't have enough oil from the manufacturer, and I didn't like. It was just a little catchy. It was still operating, but it just felt a little on the stiff side. And so now it's buttery smooth, and of course it will improve as time goes on. I know a lot of folks like to take these out and they'll polish them with some very light sandpaper and get them to where they're just super slick and there's literally no resistance whatsoever when you need to rack around in the chamber. But for me, this feels nice and good. It feels like I'm getting full confirmation when I go back to front and rack it. So very pleased. I'm very pleased. I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping this scope. The mounts are a little bit higher. I was hoping I'm probably going to drop down another ½ inch on the mounts. But we really just wanted to have some fun with this rifle and test it out and really see what we were getting for the money. And I have to say, I mean, it's a steal deal. I mean, if you think about it, $215 out the door at Walmart, then another $40 on the scope, and you know, you can grab a little gunsling for $11-12 at Walmart as well. I mean, all in all, you're locked and loaded. Other than picking up some ammo for, and I think these are roughly $12 a box depending on where you buy them, but I think we bought these at Walmart for $11.50, somewhere around $12. And I mean, all in all, you're getting an awesome bolt action, accurate bolt action rifle with a decent scope. I'm not going to say this scope is great. I mean it's pretty solid, and I think you get really good value for $40 with this 50mm scope. I think any 3x9, you know, 40mm scope will do just fine. But this 50mm Amazon special from China, it works. I just we'll have to see how it goes with the traveling back and forth. But I mean, just hell of a deal, under $300 for some fun shooting. And I mean, really, that's you know, gosh, it's roughly $260 on the scope and rifle. I mean, and that's after taxes and, you know, getting it shipped in. But I just wanted to just throw my opinion online. I know there's quite a few reviews on YouTube regarding this particular model and make. I just wanted to hype up the fact that it is available still at Walmart, and it's only $200, you know, and at $199, I think that'll catch a lot of people's eye when they're walking through the gun section. Now the scope, of course, I'm Mr. Cheapo. I went ahead and grabbed this scope from Amazon. They had it's a 50mm objective on the front there, with and they claim it's a 24 power scope. It's really not. It's more like a 12 power scope. I'd say it's about half that. And the clarity, it's decent. It does work, but I have a Nikon Buckmaster BDC side focus from a while back that was quite a chunk of change originally when it was retailed, and the quality of that scope, I mean, it definitely does make this one look bad. But this one does still work, so I cannot complain. It does the job. So 2,500 feet per second, that is pretty gnarly. That's fast. Your average 22 bullet, your 22 long rifle is going to be traveling around 1,200 to 1,300 feet per second. So this is literally traveling at twice the speed. Now, when it comes to 22 Magnums, those which I have a 22 Magnum revolver on my hip. A 22 Magnum, you're going to be traveling. That's roughly 1,900 feet per second. It's not quite 2,000 feet per second. So this is a significantly faster shooting projectile. Now it is smaller, of course. 17 is 17 caliber, and it's literally the size of the projectile. The actual bullet itself, not the cartridge, is no bigger than a pellet from a pellet rifle, which is really nifty considering that. I mean, so this is basically a glorified pellet gun, and you know, I didn't know much about it. I didn't even know what a 93 R17 was by Savage, or even Marlin's you know, sister model, because I was looking at the Marlin's and the Savage Arms variations of this gun, and they look like they have pretty much the same action. They look very similar. So just really excited. I'm really excited about this gun. I'm babying it. I don't usually buy rifles brand new. I'm not real big on buying brand new guns just because sometimes the retail can get a little pricey on them. I'm a big fan of buying and reusing some, quality guns at a pawn shop or a gun shop. But anywho, if you guys have any questions or want to mention anything about this particular gun, I'm happy to respond. I'm trying to get a little bit more involved with responding to comments, and I appreciate people taking an interest in this stuff. For me, it's all I'm really just trying to do little simple videos to express my opinion on where I stand with certain products and how they have worked out for me. So like for this rifle, for instance, there is an issue that I have had with this safety. Once you've racked the bolt, I think after you fire it, you can't really move the action on the safety much, but it's really stiff and catchy trying to go from from safety to fire. So we have our little red dot indicator there for fire, so we're good to go. Good to pull the trigger on that there. But when you try to go to safety, it's no problem. It's buttery smooth, and you see that. It's. Let me see if I can show the video camera. I can just gently take my pointer finger, and it's a very smooth transition from one side to the other, and it even snaps that last little bit, snaps the rest of the way. So the gun is now on safety. Now if I try to take it from safety to fire, let's say I'm in a, I'm trying to, it's just, look at that. I'm really having to, you can hear that too. It's getting caught right there. So we are going to take this gun apart and see what is going on there. Apparently this is a common issue for the 93 R17. There might, this is basically this safety it's the same type of safety that you would find on a Remington 700, which I do like. I really do like this type of safety, but that little catchiness there, it's something we're going to have to fix, and whether we might have to take a little machining tool and just kind of grind it down, take a Dremel or something and just kind of polish it off, maybe help round it for wherever it's catching. But anywho, that's really the only drawback to this gun. I haven't really talked, there's plenty of videos talking about the, all the features like the magazine. It does have a drop down magazine. You can load 5 shots, 5 rounds in the magazine. And that's usually that's all we've been doing. We just put 5 rounds in the magazine, and then I guess there are some folks that have issues with it eventually. I very well could be one of those people, but if you look closely there, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a lip right on that corner. There's a little edge to that magazine on the top side. So when you go to feed it in under the bottom here, you have to go ahead, of course, get that lip in there first, and then you can't just shove it in there after that. You actually have to come under here and pull back that little clip there, and then it'll go the rest of the way in, and you can rack one. And we have a Butler Creek sling on here that my buddy was nice enough to pick up on his way down here. Shout out to my friend John Cherry. He's always tagging along with me and hunting with me at my family's property, and he's always helping me with filling up the feeders with corn, which, if anybody knows, that can be a big expense as time passes. But he was nice enough to grab me this Butler Creek stock. It's got some little rubber bubble grip in there for keeping it on your shoulder, and I've been walking around with this thing the last 48 hours just smitten. I love it. I think it's a beautiful little rifle, and I'm trying to keep all the scuffs and scrapes away from it. Hopefully I don't ding it up, knock on. I can't do it any justice by trying to show it in a video, but if you go down and get your hands on one of these and see it in person for yourself, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today, and be sure to go out and get yourself one of these Savage Arms 93 R17 models. I think it's a hell of a gun for the money, and you won't regret it.